Yo, what's going on, everybody? You are watching the Bulls Report by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, the Chicago Bulls are yet again, for another season, a complete joke, and they are stuck in no man's land in the NBA purgatory. And I really do believe this. The Bulls do such a great job of tricking fans into believing that this franchise is going in the right direction. But again, they are not. They are probably going to be 39 and 43 for the third straight season in a row. With that specific record, 39 and 43, they remain the most irrelevant major sports franchise in all of sports, and they're going to be right back where they belong, the play-in tournament. You're never bad enough to get a top 5 pick and potentially draft that superstar. You are not even close to being good enough to winning one single playoff game, and they remain in purgatory. And I got a lot to say on today's show. And I know a lot of you guys, if you are optimistic Bulls fans and you just don't like hearing any negativity about your basketball team, this is not going to be the video for you. I'm a diehard Bulls fan, and I miss having a real, legit basketball team to root for, and it's the same thing every single year. And I actually want to start off with this. Nikola Vucevic, after the game when they beat the Washington Wizards, he was on the court for his post-game interview, and he was clearly pissed off. And that was a game the Bulls won. And you guys know me. On the court, I could not be lesser of a fan of Nikola Vucevic's game. You guys know how I feel about him. I think he's a negative, obviously, defensively. I don't really love his offensive fit for the modern game NBA. But I loved what Vuce did. All these young guys were happy about the win. Vucevic was going crazy. Jalen Smith was going crazy behind him. And Vuce was just like, guys, we just beat the Wizards by 1. What are we doing? The process was terrible. The result is what we wanted of getting that win, but the process was flat out terrible. That was the first time where I was like, Vooch, hell yeah. Who cares about the victory? Who cares that you just won? You beat the Washington Wizards. This is one of the worst basketball teams we have ever seen in NBA history, and you just beat them by 1 point. And then what did the Bulls do the next night? Without Vooch in the lineup, but you still had a majority of your guys. You lost to the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans. The Pelicans are also one of the worst teams in the NBA. And this is also where I get so frustrated with Bulls fans. Because you look around the NBA right now, the Pacers are a joke. The Pelicans are a joke. The Nets are a joke. Like, there are about 6, 7 of these teams that are probably going to win 15 games. So if you are just a competent team, like the Bulls are, they are going to just walk into 35, 40 wins every single year. And that's why the Bulls will remain in purgatory, and it is so frustrating. Like, the Bulls have enough talent on this team to win 39 games. I don't mean like they are one of the worst teams in the league. They aren't. Like, Josh Giddey is awesome. I think Giddey is having a fantastic season. He is a legit building block. Would I like to see more from Vucevic? Absolutely. But I think he just needs the ball more. But honestly, we'll talk about Coby White on the back half of today's show. I know a lot of you guys are Coby White fans, and a lot of you guys see the stats that he's putting up, 25 points, 7 assists. I think he's flat out terrible for this team. He is another Zach LaVine, and I'll explain that here in a second. But where the Bulls are at, like, they have enough talent to win 39 games. But this team, if you are out of your damn mind, if you think they're winning 45, 50 games this year, because a couple weeks ago when Vooch was hitting those game winners, all of you guys were yelling at me in the comments, man, this team's different. They like to play up and down. They got this clutch gene. It's a connective unit. Stop. It's the same thing every single year. This ownership group does not care about you. All they care about is getting that extra home game for the play-in tournament, and then they'll make a plus on the season. They want to win 39 games every year. They're not serious about competing for championships. They want to keep the delusional fan base that this Bulls fan base has. And I'm calling out a lot of you guys on this because they still sell it every single game. You guys still yell at me in the comments section. And it's the same thing every single year. We do this every year where I get up on here and I'm complaining about where the Bulls are at. They'll rip off 7 of 10 games. And you'll be like, oh, look, the Bulls are back. But it's the same result at the end of the year. Yes, we'll win some games in March. We'll win some games in October, November. I want to play playoff basketball, and we are nowhere near that. And also with the Pelicans game, what pissed me off so much, Derek Queen. Derek Queen didn't even have a good game against the Bulls. This guy's been a monster all year. I was pounding the table to draft him, and you drafted Noah Senge. Noah Senge looked like a 12-year-old out there playing in that game. I know he only played 2 minutes. He looks fucking terrible. He looks absolutely terrible. I know he's 18 years old. I can't see him developing in anything. He just has no skill. I just think keep it simple. It's a game of basketball. Can you shoot, dribble, pass? He can't do any. He is not that athletic, and that's another just blown draft pick by this franchise where, hey guys, congratulations. You made the play-in tournament last year. All you fans were yelling at me back in March saying, oh, look at the Bulls. They're back. They're going on this run. We're going in the play-in tournament. Well, you're in the play-in tournament. You got the 11th pick in the draft, and you drafted Noah Isenge. He sucks. And you had a chance to draft Derek Queen. Like, if you're going to be a play-in tournament team, you got to be a good drafting team if you want to get yourself out of there. The Bulls are not, and that's why we're back in here. Now, I do want to talk about Coby White and why the Bulls should potentially trade him here in just a second. But today's episode is brought to you guys by Prize Picks. It is the holiday season, and it is the best time of year for sports. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, it is all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right, and that is Prize Picks. And Prize Picks actually has a new feature where it allows you to have early payouts. So if your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. Now, Prize Picks is also really simple to play. All you got to do is pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. And if you guys get your picks right, you could cash in and get in on the action. Prize Picks is now available in 45 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. And Prize Picks, they also offer this new feature called Stacks, where you guys can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. So if you guys want to pick more on Steph Curry's points, 3-pointers, and assists, now you can pick all of them in the same exact lineup only on Prize Picks. So download the Prize Picks app today. Plug in that promo code CLNS, and we'll hook you guys up here with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, let's close it off here talking about, one, Coby White and a ridiculous trade idea that I saw floated out there around Domantas Sabonis. Actually, let's just talk about the Sabonis thing. There was a report out there that the Bulls could be interested in trading for Sabonis. If the Bulls trade for Sabonis, I will legitimately stop. I will never watch a game for this team ever again, because that would just be the biggest lack of self-awareness I've ever seen. And you know what it would be? It would be a fuck you to all of you guys. It would be an FU to the whole entire fan base, because if you trade for Sabonis, guess what? You're going to win 44 games instead of 39 games. But what's the result going to be? Maybe you end up making the playoffs, but you're not sniffing a championship. I'm just sick and tired of it. And I don't know why you guys aren't either. I don't get why Bulls fans and why you guys get so frustrated when I critique this front office. Like, why aren't people getting fired? Are you guys cool with being 39 and 43 every single year? Like Billy Donovan. I saw people after the Pelicans game being like, oh, Billy Donovan's got to go. Billy Donovan's the problem. You guys don't know what you're watching. This team has no talent. We got Dalen Terry coming off the bench. Julian Phillips. Those two are not NBA players. Those are just athletes. They're not good at basketball. We got Nikola Vucevic. Patrick Williams was the starting 5-man. And you guys want to blame Billy Donovan? Blame your front office. The fact that Arturas Karnisovas still has a freaking job here with the Chicago Bulls, it's a complete crime. People should be getting fired. And also, I don't even mean this to rag on Coby White. I think he's actually a very good basketball player. He should get traded, though. He just doesn't fit with what this team is, or at least where I think they're trying to go. His fit next to Josh Giddey just isn't seamless enough. He doesn't really play defense. He's a black hole with the basketball. He really does remind me of Zach LaVine, where it's like, yeah, he's a better like one-on-one basketball player than probably anybody on the Chicago Bulls, but he's not a good team basketball player. He's not really in good shape. His cardio is just, I mean, he doesn't play any defense. Like, I feel like I could beat Coby White off the damn dribble. He's a tremendous offensive player, but just in terms of playing 5-man team basketball, I think he's a cancer out there on the basketball court. He takes terrible shots, and, you know, I'm just frustrated. Like, listen, I understand you guys, like, you want to be positive about your team, right? Like everybody does. It's natural. Like, I want to, be positive about this Bulls team. I want to say we're going in the right direction. Guys, they don't give a shit about you. This franchise is stuck in such a hard middle, and it's not been 2 years. It's not been 3 years. It's not been 4 years. We are on years 5, 6, and 7 of this shit, and nobody cares. Everybody's still showing up to the games. Everybody's still buying season tickets. You guys are still buying Bulls merch. Stop. Like, our best basketball player is Josh Giddey. I love Giddey. But you look at these other teams. Look at the Thunder. They just won the NBA championship. They got 3 lottery picks next year. Look at the Cleveland Cavaliers. Look at the New York Knicks. Look at the Boston Celtics. And who are we? We're the most irrelevant basketball team in a major city in the entire NBA. And it's a joke. So listen, we'll get on out of here. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Need to get this rant out for you guys. The Bulls are a joke. Nothing's changing. See you guys next time. Go Bulls.